Atlas, what's going on?
Fucking hell, you just put the camera on. I was like looking
What's
down.
What's going on?
Picking my nose, looking at the daily thing and thinking, Jesus.
What are we doing, Atlas? What's going on?
We're on the road.
Oh.
Calm your tits, Jesus.
I'm excited, Carl.
I can see it.
I'm excited. I'm pumped up, mate, honestly.
Right. Well, he sprung it on me, but I guess we're doing an On the Road Diaries. I'm Carl Atlas, the keyboard warrior, as joined as always by the mighty Mad Dog. Last time we did this, we were on our way to a UPW show. This time we're doing it, we're on our way to a UPW show. However, this one's in Weymouth. We're going to the pavilion and we're working a proper 2-on-2 tag against the Brothers Orr for the tag team titles.
Getting gold.
Yeah.
Walking away with some gold today, boy. Gold.
Gold. So yeah, it's been we got some good opportunities on the horizon. We've just had a run of funny enough, we always do a bit of a chat in the car on the way up here. We were just talking about the fact that we've had basically a back-to-back succession of 6-person tag format. So we had the 6-man at UPW, and then we had a triple threat tag most recently for QWA,
right, yeah.
And then we had another 3-on-3 at KWE. All very different, all different combinations of boys, but the one constant was that it was me and Bluto together.
And we got to road test your new 6-sided ring.
Yes, we did. So I've bought a 6-sided ring for my upcoming promotion, Hex Pro, which is going to be a different bag altogether, a totally different kettle of fish. We'll get into that in a bit. So we had a little road test of that one, realised that there was going to be needed some work here and there, but it was fine, we had a little play. So it's quite nice today. The difference is that it's back to classic, just 2-on-2 tag. However, we are both teams, that is, are fan favourites.
It's true.
So I'm walking in still the UPW champion on my own.
I'm walking in still the Mad Dog.
Well, still just, sitting very gently on my coattails.
Cold! That is some cold, shady shit, man.
But yeah, no, we've got some good opportunities on the horizon as well. We've got a couple of new promotions on our list.
Yeah, we've been booked for EWA.
And
got CXW coming up.
CXW. We got QWA again, doing 2 out of 3 falls tag or some form of tag with the Vicious and Delicious team, which we love to work. The good boys.
Another title match.
Another title match indeed. So we're on a bit of a gold run, and there's opportunities. We're sort of hunting for them at the moment. We're on the lookout for more opportunities as a tag team. So things are starting to happen, which is nice. We're working hard as we can.
Yeah.
So
it's nice that we're getting out there and people are seeing us and we're getting opportunities. We really appreciate everyone who's given us a shot and has seen our stuff, who's contacted us and asked us for some bookings. We're really excited.
Totally appreciate it.
Tell us. Let's have a quick chat, right, about Hex Pro, because I know a lot about Hex Pro, but we haven't really done a lot of publicising.
No, I've kept it really hush hush, and the social media train will be leaving the station fairly soon. I've got to finalise a few things. So all it is, in a nutshell, is that I had the itch to do something creative again, in terms of from a booking standpoint and putting a show on. In my day-to-day life, I work in a school, and I approached the right people at
You're a
school.
janitor, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. No, I am a teacher, so I approached the right people at the school about asking, what's the potential for doing a show here? And I've got a track history. I've run shows in schools that I've worked in before as one-off standalone things, but I wanted to do something where the ring is in situ at the venue. I'm, as a teacher and as a staff member, bringing my outside passion into my work life, and I wanted to do something with the school, for the school, with the kids in mind, the local community in mind. So
yeah, because basically you're running this as a non-profit, aren't you?
It's going to be a non-profit thing, so I've got to cover my overheads and all the rest of it, and I've had to set up all my insurances and licenses and all the rest of it. So there's going to be some overage, but
and you're going to pay the boys.
I'm going to pay the boys. It's not going to be a straw thing. I'm going to make sure it's all above board and on the level, and a proper promotion through and through. But anything that we make after that is going to go into a fundraising pot to hopefully go towards improving the IT equipment at the school.
So it really is a show in the community, for the community, with the proceeds going back into the community. That's amazing.
That's what I want. And so I wanted it to do, and again, not just be a one-off thing. Again, this is going to be where it becomes slightly different. I want it to be built around the half terms. I want it to be that this first one is kind of like a pilot. We're going to have a little play with it and see what, make sure it's all right, and that all the parties involved from my side and the school side are happy. If that is the case, then I want it to be at the end of every half term, I'm providing a Friday evening show and a Saturday matinee at a very affordable price for the kids in the community. So it's that thing of like, parents that are scrambling for what to do with their kids at half term. They've got 2 days of it sorted straight away there. I also want to tie in our Quality Wrestling Academy friends like Rishi and Raj. I want to do taster sessions, as part of these shows, either before or after, in collaboration with QWA, to give the kids at my school and again in the wider community a chance to experience wrestling for themselves. Again, I've always been an advocate for pro wrestling is a totally different kettle of fish in terms of, yes, it teaches you about physicality and things, and it gets all that kind of testosterone and aggression out, but the end game versus any other kind of martial art or any kind of contact sport is the end game is that you are learning to control your own strength, because you must make sure, first and foremost, primarily, that the person opposite you walks away as healthy as when they walked in, and that sets it totally different to any other thing. And I think it's a really good message in that for kids who might possibly struggle with aggression problems, that there are ways of letting it out and to create something that they can feel proud of, but also ensuring that the person on the receiving end is fine.
But it's a bit like School of Rock, isn't it? Because these things take a village, and a show is more than just the performers. There's lighting, there's video, there's cameras, there's set dressing, there's first aid, there's merch, there's tickets. So there's so many more things that you don't have to, like, some kids could come along that don't want to be physical, that don't want to wrestle, that don't want to get involved in that side, but they want to put together match graphics.
Yeah.
They want to put together vignettes and videos. They want to learn, and I guess that's the modern world, isn't it? There's more going on, and kids, these are the future. These are the guys, and I have children, and my kids find computing stuff way easier than we did, because it's second nature to them. Yeah. So I think it's a really exciting thing to do in conjunction with the school, because it's not just an opportunity to get kids in the ring. It's an opportunity to give them a chance to get involved in the show business side of it.
Absolutely, and that's, we'll drip feed that stuff in, and I'm looking at ways of tying certain wrestling activities into the national curriculum and all that sort of stuff as well. So again, it's early days, and for now it's a case of getting that ring in the building and doing a first couple of shows, which fingers crossed. I don't want to make any announcements and count my chickens yet. I kind of want it to be when the bomb drops, it drops because it's ready, but I'm hoping it will be very soon. It's on the cards. It's looking close. But I've got to cross a few more T's and dot a few more I's before I make any announcements, because I just don't want to come across as a clumsy oaf who's said that it's happening and then someone pulls the rug from underneath. Yeah. So it's.
But it's going to be like, we can talk about the caliber of the show though, because you've got an idea for the run and what's going to happen. Yeah. We don't want to give anything away, but we are actually going to be using some talent that historically we haven't used in this part of the world. Like we're going to be using guys on this card, or you're going to be using guys on this card who are local but haven't really worked with us before in a local sense.
In this capacity, no. And I think it's shocking that these guys, they're so close by to a lot of the promotions that we have worked for that do the local shows. And
so McCluskey's on board.
So we got McCluskey, possibly not for the first show, but he's on board as part of the team, and I'll definitely be using him in the future. We've got Rob Lyer, Stan McGee, we've got Joshua James. Obviously Rishi's on board.
Jake.
We've got Jake is in the Bruiser, Samuel Jacobs. We've got Vicious and Delicious. We got obviously the Beards, Matt McGee. So I'm compiling a bunch of guys. We've got Joe Strange, Ziggy Strange.
Yeah.
Compiling a group of guys that are local, but might not necessarily have worked together in that capacity before, and that's exciting because there's fresh matchups that we've never seen before. So I'm excited about that. And again, from the creative scratching that itch side of things, my idea is if we're going to do an evening show Friday and a Saturday show matinee, I want to, across those two shows, collect as much footage as possible
to tell a story.
To tell a story, and then potentially have them edited for a YouTube channel or, you know, some sort of streaming service somewhere down the line, that are like episodic TV shows, like, you know, an hour long here, an hour long there, and that feed into each other. I've seen
some people having quite a lot of success with that, with shows that are static. They're not a touring show, they're not like in a village hall, but they're set up, they're all about actually putting the show on, doing the matches, filming it well, filming it at a high caliber and a high quality, for the purpose of putting it out for YouTube or for a stream. You know, that's the purpose of it. I think that's quite an exciting way of looking at it.
It's going to be a family-friendly product, because it has to be, because
it's for the school.
It's for the school. But that doesn't mean that we can't have some banging wrestling and tell some great stories and edit it for the slightly more advanced audience, the smarter audience. So, yeah, creatively, I'm very excited about it. So, I went up and bought the ring. I can't remember the guy's name that I bought it from, but it was a long-ass drive. Took my long-suffering missus up in the van with me. Drove all the way there to dismantle this thing, and it's an absolute behemoth.
It is a beast. It was a strange work, though, wasn't it? It was. I found myself lost is the wrong word, but odd.
It's
odd.
It's a reverse TARDIS. It's from the outside it looks massive, and then you get in it and it's not quite as big as you'd think. But
because we had that positioning thing. I landed the catatonic, and I went down into the box, and it was, you know, it was in the same spot it's always in. You know, it wasn't misplaced. I was right where I always am.
Yeah.
And yet you went to hit that rope. You took one step, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to trip.
Yeah. It'll be a learning curve, but
we'll get there.
We'll get.
It was the first show, innit?
The biggest thing was we noticed that the spring has some issues. So there are two types of rings, if you're not aware, fans. Flexi beam, where it's one long beam from side to side and there's some give in it. And then there's sprung rings, where there is a spring central. Okay, so the spring I noticed straight away, where it had been set up, and it had been set up for a long time in permanent situ. I think the actual coil had been compressed over a number of time, and the amount of weight that was on it, which has ruined it. So I thought, well, like, I'm gonna pack it up from the bottom, and that helped a little bit. It helped a little bit. But what we noticed was that there is a round base plate with 3 additional kind of like cups, if you like, little kind of slots, and there are supposed to be 3 additional springs, 3 smaller springs that balance the whole thing, which weren't there. They weren't sold to me with the ring. I don't even know if the gentleman that sold it to me realised that they were supposed to be part of the kit, so I can't really even have a go at him. But it's a quick fix, not too expensive. I'm going to order some, and it'll all be, you know, fine and dandy. From an aesthetic point of view, we gave it a little bit of a TLC, brush the canvas up, take the ropes up again with a nice new purple colour, you know, and it looks the bizzo. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Working with our good friend Dashing Designs to get some stuff made up for the hall, like some banners and things like that. So, you know, I'm really excited. It is, and as I said, watch this space. Follow me on social media. Follow Sam on social media, because as soon as there are announcements to be made, I will be making them.
So back to today.
So
we've got UPW. We're going to be there in about 25-30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon, Carl? Do you reckon today's our day? Do you feel lucky?
I always feel lucky. I always feel lucky. I'm going to be honest, from a physical standpoint, not feeling great. Both of our families have been hit with illness. We are fine. We are fine. We have been safe. We have tested for everything. We are negative. We are fine. However, there is always kind of a knock-on effect, a tiredness effect, when you're looking after your loved ones at home. And I've had a very hectic week at work as well. And yeah, I always wish that I felt slightly better going into these big matches. I had this when I wrestled McCluskey. The day I wrestled Jake in my big final, like, TLK blow-off end of the feud match, I woke up shaking like a shitting dog. I was like, I had a fever. I ended up saying to my missus, she was like, "You're not going," and I went, "I am. Give me all of the Lemsip," and I literally just like caned it and had every painkiller going, and I think adrenaline got me through it. And I'm sure today will be no different, but I always kind of have that lamentation of like, oh, I just wish.
I'm excited to work these guys.
I am.
Like, I'm surprised we haven't crossed. Like, they're local to us. I'm surprised we've never crossed paths with them. We've never used them in any shows that we've been involved with.
You never know. Hex Pro is down the road. There's opportunities there.
Although I think they might have moved further away.
They are
now.
a little bit further away now, but yeah,
they used to be right on our doorstep.
Indeed.
So I'm looking forward to this. It should be fun.
Again, though, I do, and this is a minor thing, right? Again, we are both very grateful for the opportunities that we're being given at UPW. I've always been grateful, and I've said that vocally very, very many times. It sounds like I've got my hooter firmly up their crack, but I don't. I do genuinely appreciate every opportunity that's been given to me, and we certainly, feel the same way. However, there has been a track of me, Carl Atlas, wrestling other fan favourites at UPW.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, I wrestled Dan McGee and won the belt. He was very much not a fan favourite, and that was a great opportunity to get, to win the belt from a true villain. The feud with McCluskey was really kind of fans can pick either way, and so there was a little bit back and forth. And
it was kind of two brothers at war.
Yeah, and that was a story
There wasn't really a good side or bad side. There was just conflict.
Yeah. Then I wrestled Castle, and that was nice because it was going back to a proper villain. And then we did the 6-man, which I suppose there was a bit of shenanigans in there, but it was a bit. The waters were muddy. But now it's, the Brothers Law are definitely fan favourites, and we are supposed to be fan favourites too. And again, it's kind of the fans pick, and you can see that on social media. I do occasionally poke my head into the events pages and the announcements, and you can see, go Beards, TBA for the win, that sort of thing.
Yeah, back and forth. It's quite even as well.
Yeah. So, and they're always a challenge, those matches. I think. I think when you can.
It's important. One side is definitely. I've always said this. I hate watching true blue on blue. Right. One side has got to have the comfort in their fandom to lean a little bit heel.
Yeah.
You've got one side has just got to lean out that way a little bit more than the other team, because on the day, the fans need the story. The fans need the psychology. They need the ups and downs, and it's very hard to give them the ups and downs when you're both trying to play for the cheers.
Yeah.
One side is like, I think Steve said it. Steve Austin said it. You can't fear the boo.
Mm-mm. And I think honestly, that's us.
It's got to be us.
It's got to be us tonight,
because we're not the champs and we're bigger, so we're going to have to be. It's going to be more realistic that we're going to be more physical.
Yeah. And I think the extra layer of challenge comes from the fact that you have to be reactive.
Yeah.
We've got to feel the audience out there a little bit and react to what they're buying into.
We can't structure it too heavily around that decision until they give it to us.
No, exactly. Because the difference is that when you have a strong villain versus a strong babyface, you can predict the fans' reactions before you go in.
We don't know.
When you've got tweener matches like this, we don't know what's going to happen. Weymouth is a different beast.
They might just pop for everything.
They might
pop for nothing. They might be completely confused.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem with face versus face. They don't know who to cheer for, so they sit on their hands and cheer for no one. But I'm excited by the challenge for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to bring the same energy we always bring, and we're going to bring that kind of excited nonsense.
Energy's energy, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I've always said, the fans definitely buy in to. They can tell when you are enjoying yourself, and then they will much more easily get into it and enjoy themselves as well. And we're going to go out there and we're going to enjoy ourselves.
So if you want to see that match in a couple of weeks' time, next week, once it's been put out on the streaming service, we'll let please go find the streaming service, by the way. UPW streaming service is fantastic. Pivot Share, UPW, there'll be a link below. Go and find that, sign up, watch their back catalogue, watch the whole show. But we're going to probably see if we can get permission from the management to do another reaction video.
That'd be great, yeah.
We've learnt our lessons on how to film that, so hopefully the next one we do will be a little less noisy on the audio front. We've learnt our lessons on that.
Yeah.
But we got some good feedback.
Yeah, and they said that the audio was a little bit tinny, and we were like,
we're going to fix that.
We know exactly how to fix that for next time.
But drop us a like, drop us a share. drop us a subscription. If you're enjoying this on the road stuff and you want to see us do more reactions, and if you want to see us react, if you want to see the Beards take on AEW, on WWE, if you want to see us do reaction videos on Botchamania, on your match, if you want to send us your footage of your match and ask us to talk it through and give you some feedback on your match, you know, if you don't mind that being on YouTube, we'll do that too. Please like and subscribe, find us, look out for the next video, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. We know how to sign this off.
Oh, it's a short one today, boys and girls.